down to a certain depth. In this case 120, but you can, figure out the center point. And then what I'll do is I'll just gently etch a line, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, and 12th. If you want to do one on the, that's not the 12th, this is the 12th. If you want to do one on the 15, you could do that too, but I'll just put them over here. So then you take your calipers and you measure from left to right, the 2nd and 3rd one, and you make sure that it's directly in the right spot. And there's certain little things. If your dot is not centered left to right, people won't really notice it. But if your dot is not in a straight line, they'll see the zigzag. So make sure, if there's one thing you want to have that's precise, it's the measurement from the top of the fretboard to the bottom. That will help it look more perfect. Looking perfect is what you want, doesn't have to be perfect. Just don't tell anybody that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9. And I'll close one eye when I'm lining it up. It makes life easier. 10, 11, 12. And try to have it so it's evenly spaced. Go for 2 dots at the 12th. For a few years I was only doing 1 dot at the 12th. And people would ask me to put 2 dots because they couldn't tell. And that's fair. So it's nice.
Yeah.
If you're used to playing the octave, you want to know where it is. So, but if you don't play the octave, then it doesn't matter.
I did the single on my bass for, I had that until a couple months ago. It fucked me up all the time.
It's driving me crazy, eh? That's fair. That's totally fair. So I've changed my ways, but I just did that because the old headphones only had 1 dot. So now I've got this drill bit, and I'll drill. Going maybe 1/8 of an inch deep. Maybe 3/16. And every once in a while, it's not perfect. We can correct it later on. I'll show you a couple little things we can do. These two look good. This looks the same. This one looks low. These look the same. This one has to go higher. What I'll do, take the hole. I just bent the hole up a little bit. And what I can do is mix a little bit of epoxy with some black dust and shove the dust in there. Or I can even just put some ebony dust in there and put some crazy glue in. These other ones are the same diameter as the drill bit, or the nail. So I'll take my fret end cutters. Do a little test fit. It feels pretty okay. It's not too bad. So then I'll take a little thing of crazy glue. Oopsie daisy, look at that. It's dripping all over the place. Don't do this over your guitar. Okay, so now put a drop in these ones. Do 3 at a time because the craggle's gonna get stuck to my fingertips. And I will cut a little bit high while pushing down. I've got those little finish nails in there. This one, what I want to do is Yeah, I'll get some of that ebony dust. And in this case, I'll put the nail in dry. See if I can get a little bit of that dust to that crevice. And then I'll just put a drop of crazy glue on top and let it fall down the nail. It'll penetrate into the crazy glue, in theory. And now it's dripping all over the place, which is not the end of the world. Let's take a cloth and wipe it up. I'll just push it a little bit over, and it should be just fine. So let those sit and dry. After they're dry, I'll take my end nippers, I'll squish them, cut them. I'll take a file and I'll file them. But it might be a good idea to do that once the neck is off. So you can let those sit like that. Then what you can do is you can figure out where you want to have your dots. And different fits here. There's a 1/4 inch in the drill over there. So here's the 1/4 inch bit. So that's 245. So if you want to do the 1/4 inch dots, they're a little bit smaller than a 1/4 inch, but as soon as they're in, you can't tell. It's not the end of the world. This one is 188. I think the smaller pearl dots fit perfectly with this particular bit. Same with this one. And there's another 1/4 inch in the drill press over there. So same kind of deal. If you want to make sure that everything's perfect, grab a true edge and then mark out your center lines. After you have your center line, then take your calipers on your third. If you're putting a dot in your third, measure the distance from your side to side. So it's 1249. So half of that is 870. Is that 875? 675. No, it's 625. So I'll go 625. Then you can lock it. You can measure. Then you can press down with the calipers. Then, once you get this little mark with your calipers, you can take the awl and then you can put that in that little spot there and press down really deeply. After it's pressed down really deeply, then you can take your 1/4 inch bit or whatever bit is the appropriate size, and in the drill, of course, and then drill until you are in fact the correct depth. For the purpose of demonstrating that, I'll just glue a little piece of a little pearl dot. Do a test fitting with a 1/4 inch and the smaller size. And where's that piece of? Here's this piece of wristlet I was looking for. Then there's our hallmark. And nothing wrong with stopping and checking, making sure that you're not going to your truss rod. Getting there. Looks lovely. I really do believe this bit actually cuts a flatter hole. Yeah, this bit is better. So if you're going to do the small 200 thou holes, use that one. Double fluted bits have a flatter bottom. And how does this fit? Oh, that looks lovely. It's going to be nice. This bit is a little smaller than that pearl. The advantage with this bit though is that it's got a flat bottom, so that fits nicely there. We can put a little bit of crazy glue in there. Put it in place. This is the 1/4 inch. It's nice to have it so the pearl is pretty much flush top. But if you look really closely, there is a little bit of play. This one can move around a little bit. So the cool thing with that is it gives you a little bit of space for error. So if you put them all in, and then you figure out, oh, this one's too far to the right, I will move it closer. Then you can actually just slide it over. And then you hold it in place, put a drop of crazy glue on, let it sit for a couple seconds. But hold it in place because it can float up. If you put a lot of crazy glue, the crazy glue will go underneath and lift up the pearl, and it will float like it's a little boat in some water. So wait until it's tacked up, and then it should be good. Then, back to these. They're close to being dry. This one's pretty dry, so I'll snip it. And what you can do is it gets all kind of shiny. It looks so pretty. The other ones will all look like that as well. So, any questions?